little boy growing up in New York, and live TV had just started, and there was a TV series called Captain Video and His Video Rangers, exploring space, protecting truth, and protecting the human race from invasion. It was bizarre, but it did last a bunch of years, and by the end of its run, it actually had some of the top science fiction story writers contributing scripts to certain episodes. Arthur C. Clarke, Isaac Asimov.
Stand by for Captain Video!
But what grabbed my ear was this amazing piece of music, not written for the TV series. In fact, it was a Richard Wagner overture. The music resonated with me as a little boy, and as I grew up, took piano lessons, I was always remembering the impact of music with visuals. The next time, as a genre, it really impacted on me was when I moved back to England in the mid-60s. So now I was just out of high school and college. I was starting my career as a professional musician and a composer, and I arrived back and watched another TV series, Doctor Who. To me, again, it was the theme, Ron Grainer's composition, the BBC Radiophonic Workshop. It just struck me. It's scary, it's melodic, it's everything that from a composer's point of view you hope you can connect with your own music. A Clockwork Orange, which had a lot of Moog 3C synthesizers that Walter Carlos used, as well as interpreting some of Beethoven's music within that score. It's a troublesome movie as a subject, but this music was just exploding out of the screen, you know, and I knew, you know, a bit about synthesizers, was using them in my music, so I sort of ticked that one off as a possibility of blending electronic music, not for weird sounds, but to perhaps blend them with symphonic writing or other instruments that became a different type of music. So that one always resonated with me. Close Encounters, John Williams' magnificent orchestral score, symphonic score, but it's got that 5-note phrase. It's sort of like a calling from those who are visiting Earth. A magnificent movie, but again, that marriage, that collaboration between sound, music, and a wonderful story within a science fiction setting, I think, although on Earth, that to me is those the sort of things that hit me, that connected with me. And so when I came to do The War of the Worlds, I had been influenced.
This could be the beginning of the end for the human race. For what men first thought were meteors or the often ridiculed flying saucers are in reality the flaming vanguard of the invasion from Mars.
I had a vague memory, again going back to my Captain Video days, of seeing maybe on a late night movie, a movie called War of the Worlds. My memory of it was that it was set in contemporary America and didn't really bear a lot of relationship to what H.G. Wells was on about. So that was as much as I could think about it as a story. So I took the book and I read it, and it wasn't a long book, but it just grabbed me on one read. I know that the term concept album has been always sort of attached to it, and there have been many concept albums, if you want to call them that. I actually never saw myself doing that. I took, as a composer, a wonderful story, and the medium I was in was the recording world to start with, and I thought was writing a musical work. That's why it's called Jeff Wayne's musical version of The War of the Worlds. My motivation was to test myself as a composer, to try to reach people in the widest possible way, because that's the greatest sort of acceptance you can get, is if you can create something and reach people rather than it disappear into the ether, you know, overnight. That's as good as I think it can get. I had no guarantee it was even going to be released. The record company I was with had the right to listen to it when it was finished and have 30 days to decide whether they even wanted to release it. I had my life savings tied up in it. So here I am all these many years later, looking back at an album, singles, club versions, arena tours now, you name it. I had no idea it would even be released.